right, and last but not least, we got our division that's near and dear to our hearts. We have the AL East. All right, big guy, who you taking in the AL East?
I mean, I was leaning towards the Yankees, but then Garrett Cole got injured, so it's
That's
like
major. That is
I
so. I never want to say heartbreaking for because it has to do with the Yankees, but that is heartbreaking for the Yankees, man.
we're we'll say it for G Mike since he's not here to defend his team, so it's heartbreaking for them. But I think honestly now it might become kind of a two. It might give the Orioles a shot now of kind of coming back into the fold, claiming that AL East crown. I got to say it's between one of those two teams. As much as I would love to be optimistic about the Rays, they're playing in a minor league stadium this year. There is a lot of optimism for a lot of the younger players. Junior Caminero, Carson Williams at shortstop coming up potentially. Getting Shane McClanahan back is going to be big, but I pretty much have this summed up between Yankees and O's. And I think because of the Cole injury, unless they make a big trade somehow to get a prime ace pitcher, I don't think it's going to be their year. I think that Orioles going to come in and kind of take advantage of an opportunity.
Yeah, I clearly am a Red Sox fan. That's my team. I'm actually not going to take the Red Sox in this year. I do like the moves that they made. It's funny. It's funny how things go. Yeah, signing Bregman is a great deal for the Red Sox. He just always, to me, like just outside, he was just a guy who just wanted to punch in the face kind of guy. But now he's on your team. Go Bregman, baby. Let's go. We always wanted you here.
Yep.
Anyways, no, I like what the Red Sox did. I think that the Red Sox can be contenders. I think it's going to be a two-way race between the Red Sox and who I'm picking, the Orioles. I think the Orioles are going to take the AL East this year. They have a great young nucleus, and they've been knocking on the door, except the Yankees just been the powerhouse lately. And I think that Garrett Cole injury is going to be major for the Yankees. And it's too late to really replace him with anybody that's going to be the level of player there was in money-wise. For once, the Yankees have to look at that money-wise because they gave Garrett Cole that gigantic contract. So I think that's going to be a slight issue for them majorly. But I'm actually going to take the Orioles to win the AL East.
What are your thoughts, by the way, on the with Bregman being signed now? He's got the relationship now with Devers and the Red Sox. That's interesting.
Honestly, I think it's going to fizzle itself out. I think that Devers was being young. I mean, he's a young kid, and so I think he felt threatened. He didn't want to move positions. Surprisingly, Bregman's been more of the adult, and not surprisingly, but he is a little bit older than them. But Bregman's been handling it pretty well. Bregman's like, look, I'll play wherever you want me to play. There is no controversy. I have nothing against Devers. And Devers has kind of backtracked a little bit on it, so I don't think it's going to linger into the season. I just think Devers was trying to posture himself as I'm the face of this team, and you're not going to take my spot, and so I didn't like it, as going into the season. You don't want to see any kind of animosity or anything like that between players, but I think it's going to work itself out to the point of that they'll figure it out. I don't think it's going to be lingering later on, but I think that both players, Bregman handled it really well because he is kind of brash, and Bregman is definitely not a back away from how he feels kind of guy, but he made it pretty clear, like, I don't have any problems. I'll play wherever you guys want me to play. I'm just happy to be here.
But I actually prefer Bregman at third just because I think he's the better fielder of the two. So
100% agree.
And so that's for me.
The better defender.
Yeah, I'd say just either make Devers your DH or just stick him at first. Do something like that.
Yeah, I totally agree. Devers just doesn't see it that way. So until
he's on the bigger side, right? Like Devers is a bigger player. So it's like Paredes at the Rays. Like I felt like he would have been a better fit moving him over to first base because he's getting bigger and so like he's a slugger. So same thing, just move him. He's a bigger guy. He's still athletic. He can still contribute, but it's like move him though to a position where he's not going to have to be relied upon as much for his athleticism as Bregman would be.
Right, and if you think about it too, like for Devers, I think he's looking at it the wrong way. Especially that he's moving to DH, you have the opportunity to be the second coming of Poppy, which is still Boston lore. Everybody loved Poppy there, and his defense wasn't that great. He played first base whenever he had to, but his big thing was hitting. And Devers is a power hitter. He can hit the ball, crush the ball. So if you just move over to the DH, there's no disrespect in it. And the DH isn't looked at like it used to be, where it's kind of like, you can't really do anything else. That's why you're in the DH. Now the DH is a major thing. Now all DHs are getting in the Hall of Fame now. I think that he needs to kind of maybe look at it a little bit differently, especially playing for a team, being Hispanic, and you had Poppy in that position that everybody loved. You could be just basically a second coming of him. So I think he needs to reconsider that, to be honest with you.
Yep, I agree.
All right. So who was your pick in this one for the AL list? I'm sorry.
Orioles.
Orioles. Yeah. So we're both taking the Orioles. Interesting. All right. Cool.
Yep.